Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back to get underway into map number 2. And, well, Truman, I think we're safe to say that map number 1 was relatively one-sided.
That kind of definitely was. We'll be back here, though, for game number 2. And will Anonymo be at least able to perform dearly here to try and keep their hopes and dreams alive in the Spring Sweet Cup? Crossing towards the site, Minio does find a catch onto Bolt. That's, if you got no cross smokes, it's very dangerous to make that jump happen, especially considering the bomb is still not crossing over just yet. 4-on-4 ensues. Travis on the ramp, spots Snacks inside the smoke, but that flash is on point, completely blinded. Travis is taken care of. Long range fights, favors of course CT side, but Glowing rushes through mid and he gets another catch, but the problem is the bomb. The bomb is in control of Anonymo.
Yeah, exactly. The bomb's taking control. PT50 still trying to take a couple of pop shots, but for the time being, not really connecting with anything. HE could cause a bit of damage though, and well, Deco will be dropped to 55, Glowing down to 73 now as both teams all about who can just connect with that awkward headshot. Just over 40 seconds left on the clock, but Innocent, he hears a sound cue, he's waiting.
Oh, needs to find that quick headshot tap, but it's getting too dangerous. Through towards mid, double doors. Minio trying to keep them at bay as well. 2 separate 1v1s, but Deco wins the fight against Innocent and is going to rush towards that A bomb site. And again, it seems likely that the original pistol winners for the one-win side on Nuke might be able to get it done. Again, Glowing and Deco, the two players you got to keep your eyes on, will be able to stay alive and both get a kill in 2 kills in the pistol round. That's going to be 1 win with the opening pistol, and well, immediately we get the tech pause.
Yeah, 1 win looking fantastic though. I mean, has to be said, they've been looking really, really good. Not only, of course, map number 1, that was very one-sided, 16-4, but a relatively comfortable start. They pick up a pistol round, and now in doing so, of course, a pistol round, a bomb going down. An economy looking very, very good. They're going to be able to pick up themselves up AKs and Galils to support, alongside full armor and utility. When we take a look towards Anonymo, I mean, that economy, not great. Just going to see, at most, sort of upgraded pistols, but if I'm the CT side, I'd probably go for a more passive buy. A PT50 at most. Oh, well, they're not going to do that. They're going to go for the full expenditure. Double scout supported by 3 Deagles. It's a risky buy, and against sort of AKs and Galils, you really have to back your aim with those Deagles.
Yeah, Snack's not even keeping extra op money. That's something I don't really like to see. You really want the inevitable first op on the gun round, but 2 scouts can definitely turn it around through those mid double doors rushing through. You see it happen way too many times, just a wall bang headshot through those paper thin walls. Right now though, 1 win, they're not gonna give Anonymo any opportunities here to try and come back and surprise them. That's why they went for the boost play. That's why they're playing so passively on the T side right now. Don't want to accidentally rush into your opponents and give them a nice AK pickup. Glowing and try and go for the jump up outside towards long. Travis goes for the peek, but it's K. He's trying to stay distracted. Well, have Kyler as a distraction while he hides behind the car and try and baits them in. Gets taken down to 7 HP though, and the wallbang is enough to just finish him off. That's a very sad end to K's round. Oh, but look at that push coming forward. Innocent though with the deagle does find himself a nice double kill with the D, and all of a sudden it becomes a lot more doable here for the CT side.
Yeah, this becomes awkward for the CT side. I mean, not awkward. I mean, awkward for the T side, man. I said, they lost. There's 2 initial 1D extenders, and they're brilliant, but can they carry it on? They haven't managed to pick themselves up any weapons for the time being. HE comes forward onto his sight, does a bit of damage onto the propeller, but for the time being, Travis, he's tucked himself in that close angle. We're also going to deny any sort of weaponry being dropped over towards the CT side for the time being. They're spamming through the smoke to no avail. When Travis and Propeller are waiting, you'll see the fight. Now, this one big forward from Innocent, finds some damage on towards the second, but it's Snacks left in a 1 versus 2. And with the bomb so far ticked, he is just going to set up for those exit frags. It's going to be 1 win. Putting a second round on the board, but Anonymo, they do make it expensive, so a silver lining there.
It's a pretty costly round in that regard. Snacks also keeps the scout alive, so he has something to work with in this round. Innocent made some extra nice cash with those deagle kills. So all things considered, not that bad of a round for the Anonymo side. Unfortunately, you can't save an AK, but with the scout might be able to deal some more damage. 3 deagles as well for the CT side. And Snacks just need to find that headshot with the scout to make some extra little bit of cash so that he can afford an AWP. Come on, pro play, feed me that kill. Is exactly his thought right now, but it is going to be the opening frag for Deco rushing forward out towards A-Long together with Travis. That's full control of the A-Long position, and just like that, Anonymo's very slim chances to win the round have easily been dealt with. Glowing 5-1 as well, looking pretty good for the 1-win side. But now they'll get tested because now the first gun round comes in. Snacks is going to pick up that AWP double op setup as well for the CT side, but both on that glass cannon.
Do you know what? I'm a fan of the glass cannon. In certain situations, it's a lovely double spray down to sort of give him that round. It's got the goals on his side a little bit, and the pinnacle odds up on your screen, they're heavily favouring 1-win, and we can see why, right? I mean, they've been looking brilliant so far, but of course, Orbs coming out, Snacks and Kyle are looking to use the high-impact weaponry of the double up setup to work in their favour. He comes to utility to force Minio back off this angle in towards a deep, short position, and now he's going to hold and jiggle peek.
Well, will they check the angle? He's actually just going to drop off instead of hold it down. Snacks with the op. Creeping up to Goose right now for the long-range angle, hoping someone's going to feed him a kill. But it is kind of risky. You are glass cannon, and there's still a bit of utility left on the 1-win side. Luckily enough, 1-win don't have a full set of nades left. So they pretty much have one solid execute, and that's about it. Kyle is jumping up over the smoke, trying to see if he sees any of the T's peeking through on the other side. It is, of course, high risk, high reward going for that jump, because if all of a sudden there are 2 T's in that area, you get completely decimated.
Yeah, exactly that. And Minio's holding from ramp. He's waiting for an opportunity. Snacks playing a sort of a passive angle over towards a long position, waiting for an opportunity. In comes the utility, and now he'll support. The flashbang comes forward, and the Molotov to keep them at bay, and the T's like they've been forced back. Now things become awkward for 1-win. I mean, they're kind of trapped between smokes here, just waiting for a lifeline.
Snacks holding the smoke cross as well, finds himself a quick first. K out towards A-Long, that means there's no flank coming through, and the remaining T's are just gonna bail out to try and keep their guns alive. It's Deco and Pro play the last 2 remaining T's and nothing much more. 1-win get decimated. The utility from Anonymo, perfectly on point. The molly to force them back, the flash to actually get them inside the molly, or, well, behind the molly from Snacks. And at that point, they're stuck between smokes and mollies, and they have nowhere they can run without just straight up rushing out cold turkey and getting decimated. And a very solid use of utility from the Anonymo side to just straight up almost win the round just based on their util game.
Once again, Anonymo doing what we know they can do best, right? Utility game was excellent, gave them an opportunity and a window to find a couple of frags there, and exactly what Snacks does, right? You kind of spoke about the glass cannon with the orbs and no armor. Well, it's worked in their favor. Credit where credit is due, and Anonymo, the Polish side, put a first on the board, and now looking to further extend this. Double up still in play, supported by an AK and 2 M4s, but their short is slightly compromised. Minio just peeking with a Molotov, waiting, and now he might drop it momentarily.
It's going to be Snacks with that AWP, of course, towards ramp, holding anyone pushing towards the A site, but there's plenty of time on the clock. 1-win, they're just holding that default position, waiting for Anonymo aggression, which honestly they don't do too much on the CT side. And not as much as some other Polish teams out there. They just like holding reasonably far passive angles, which, you know, I prefer teams that are a little bit flexible in that regard, especially if you go for like a tunnels push, could give you so much intel. It doesn't always mean that you need to get a 4 frag kill, but just having the information for the rest of your team to know what might be coming your direction. For instance, right now it is going to be the group up towards a short and 1A long. K is going to get aggressive, but Pro Play, he waits it out and wins out that fight. That molly from the CTs again, perfect timing, keeps the terrorist delayed for just a little bit longer, makes it problematic. Minio even crawling past the smoke, and this could be everything. He finds Travis, sprays further, only finds himself one with a lot of damage on a second, but Snacks on that AWP long range needs to take these fights. Spots glowing, crossing in, gets the kill, but he's out in a very uncomfortable position against Deco. It's going to be the bomb planted. Is it on time? Yes, just barely. Oh my god, that's threading the needle on the 1-win side. And a 3-on-3 retake, 2 through CT, 1 from A long. That's going to be the case. Innocent creeping in and crawling further forward, but Deco with the first drops down. Snacks, he picked up the AWP. Innocent gets dealt with by Pro Play, and it's going to be all on to Kyler. 1v2 off in hand, tries to go for the jumping no scope. No Kukli game for you. It is going to be 1 win securing the round, but Anonymo, they had every opportunity there to secure it in their favor.
Well done once again for 1 win. They sort of regain a bit more of a comfortable showing. Their short default works in their favour. Deco spotting on Snacks there as well. That was a pinnacle frag, I'd say. You know, with Snacks going out of the equation, and they all just started to fall one by one. And of course, the Kukli not quite working, meaning that it's going to be 1 win. Winning that 4th on the board once again, taking a 3-round advantage. Now, if you're that CT side for Anonymo buying into the next, very unlikely they're going to get an orb coming into this, right? Unless they go for that glass cannon once again, which in all fairness has worked. You could see maybe that happen, but actually they're going to go for the full eco. So they're going to go for just the deagles, small amounts of utility to allow them into that next round to quite comfortably have the, you know, orb armor, utility into support, and well, I'm actually a fan of this buy.
Yeah, a couple of deagles. Next round, 2,900 added in. You've got the AWP that you can go for on Snacks, and possibly Kyler as well if you want to. So all things considered, it's a solid buy into the next round regardless. And with a couple of deagles, they can get a lot done. They have a pretty far top mid controlled by Minio, whereas the rest of the team is grouping up to defend that A bomb site. And well, the terrorists, they will have to cross through the smokes that they're probably going to toss, or is this going to be a dry peek, which would be even way deadlier for the T side, because there are a lot of deagles on the other side. Kyler gets taken care of first. And surprisingly enough, they decimate the CT side. It's still K right behind the smoke, though. And they have some inkling that that might be the case. Definitely thought Anonymo had a better chance in the round, but they just got completely deleted. Not a single kill secured for the CT side. And please, I beg you, don't make this a repeat of Nuke.
A flawless round there for the T side. I mean, they're really, you're sort of dictating their playstyle. The entire, not only momentum, but this round and this game in general so far. I mean, it's only 1 round picked up by Anonymo, but as we mentioned, right, they're now going for that full expenditure, and the double orbs had to once again coming out. Now, this time, they've got the armor to support. Can this be enough to actually, well, they don't even actually the glass cannon for Snacks and Kyler. This could become slightly awkward, you know. All it takes is 1 AK shot to really take them down low.
How low can you go? Tag on to Deco and Travis. Sorry, on Glowing and Travis towards mid. No damage has been traded through, but Kyler and Snacks, glass cannon, AWPs again. Rather surprising that both those oppers did not tag each other up so far. Pope's actually going to go for the aggressive peek, and he deals with Snacks, takes him down quickly. Minio, however, sees them almost lining up, pushing towards that A-bomb site. Can he hold down the ramp position? He does find Deco, creeps and crawls, kills off Travis, completely blinded, dancing past the molly, but forces him in an absolutely atrocious position, kept up all the way in the back, and it's going to be the push towards the A-bomb site to get the plant in. Pro Play is going to go for the full stick inside the smoke. Takes some nade damage coming through, but it is a 3-on-3 retake, and Glowing finds a first long range stabs, pulled very low in HP, but very low does not mean dead. So far, Glowing should have known that there was a player out towards A-long, though, so a little bit risky jumping with no HP across the angle. Okay, pushing in, spots out Pro Play, but still the kill picked up by Pro Play. Regardless, the op flick from kalian not going to connect. Oh no, a second chance. USP in hand does find the kill finally, but it's a one-on-one, no time left, and that's the round secured for 1 win. That's 6-1, and Anonymo, the Polish team, is absolutely not ready to play right now because 1 win are on a tear. They, of course, have very capable lineup, but some of the Anonymo players, it just doesn't feel like they're completely awake.
I have to agree with you. It just seems like 1 win are significantly the better side, right? They're well and truly in control of this. I mean, it's the funny thing about it as well is that if you look, back to the Spring the regionals that were done, a couple of weeks ago now, Anonymo actually ended up taking down 1 win in that situation. That was 2-1 in favor of the Polish side. Since then, it seems to be nothing but W's if you are the 1 win side. They're looking really good in terms of their form, and of course it's showing here. Anonymo, once again, just a save coming forward. That AWP saved the cross, dropped over towards Snack, so slightly more positive, but only supported by Deagles. This is well and truly looking in favour of 1 win to put 7th on the board once again.
Well, they went for a smokeless peak last time, so they might do it again this time around. Snacks with the AWP has a good angle for it though, and they are going to give him that possibility. Finds the first. Travis crosses in, does stay alive for the time being. It's going to get aggressive, but Snacks with that AWP finds himself too, jumping across up top to peek over the wall. See if there's anyone peeking through K towards short though. Pro Play on the other side. This is a timing game. The peek comes in, doesn't expect K that close. That's going to be the AK recovered. And is this actually going to be the round? 2 kills for Snacks, 1 for K. Snacks holding all the way in the back. Minio with the Deagle on site for anyone that crosses through. There's no utility left for the 1 win side. So will they deny the Brazil? Deco spots out Minio. Or actually, Minio spots out Deco. And 35 seconds left on the clock. This is dangerous for the terrorists. They're even going to go for the peak with the AWP. Boosted up top. See if he can spot someone in the back, but on the side is the Deagle of Minio keeping them at bay, and right now it's just safe territory for the terrorist side. Exactly that. Finally, Anonymo get themselves another round. It starts off with another attempt without any cross smokes, which, this is still Dust 2. The A-bomb site is very dangerous to cross into if the enemy actually has guns.
It's risky, like really. They're trying to go for these try peaks to get informational plays, and maybe even get themselves an opening frag without sort of giving up any sort of allure as to where they're going. But at the same time, going for try peaks without the utility, it's so risky, and you're always going to pay the price. Snacks, nice on the shot there. Coming on towards Travis, always able to double up as well. It's a questionable sort of peak there, I guess, if you are 1 win and Anonymo. They punished them for it. A second on the board for them. They brought the deficit back to only 4 rounds now, and, well, this could be maybe the beginning of something.
Well, just like last time, on the gun round, they win a round, but can they at least string some in a row? Because that's where their problems really come through. Though, to be fair on Nuke, it just was in general, they didn't win any rounds, so even a loose round wasn't on the cards. It was just mainly the first couple of rounds in the half that they managed to secure, and then all of a sudden it went full potato mode. Right now, the mid-cross comes in, and something that they haven't actually done. 1 win haven't hit the B-bomb site whatsoever this entire game just yet, and Deco with an opener onto the upper from the CT side. That's Kyler down. That's a man advantage. And just like that, Anonymo, they lose the opening pick fight with Travis crawling through mid. Long range, does get taken down by Innocent, but very little HP left on Innocent in a problematic fight, and the backup is just not there. Oh, Deco.
Of course, now peeking. Oh, that was close. He's obviously going to be aware of that lower tons position. Goes to the jump beacon. He may have actually spotted Minio, and now Glowing might be pushing for that informational play. Okay, finds Deco. Minio finds Glowing. There's potential here for Anonymo.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 3 CTs against 2 Ts. Of course, the B-bomb site's still not easy to take, Theo, but it's definitely still doable. They get aggressive, and it's going to be all on to Minio to try and make that retake happen. They switch sides between the CT and the Ts. going for the full defuse because close don't fit. No, he's just going to tap it, take the fight against Polt, but of course loses it because, well, you know, that's just the way that this series has been going, all things considered. 7-2, and again, no rounds strung together by Anonymo.
Yeah, statistically speaking as well, that B site is the hardest site to retake in competitive CSGO for the time being, especially in terms of, you know, the tier 2 and tier 1 sort of teams. And proved there once again, Polt just shutting it down from the outside window position, which is at times quite a risky place to hold, right? Because you can sort of lose control of that site while he plays it perfectly. And again, that's the T side. They are just flying away with this one. A 7-2 lead in terms of rounds, a 5-round deficit, and Anonymo, it's playing out similarly the way in which Nuke played out, right? I mean, they're struggling, to say the absolute least. Really finding it hard to not only cement a sort of foothold into this series, you know, even to pick up as much as a round seems like too much of an ask.
Well, they at least have another buy in their favor. Snacks with the AWP again, though gets flashed off, falls back immediately, long range. Luckily, there is Kate to bail out Snacks before it goes incredibly wrong. FAMAS, not a favorable fight against an AK on those headshot angles, though both tag each other slightly up. No kills in trade, but the man advantage is in favor of the CT side, and they are even grouping up to hit that A long position with a nice flash. Deco might be flashed off, but they need to be on point. But he's going to get smoked off. That means the Molly's going to force Travis back to the side, peeks back in, but that's the overwhelming advantage. And Anonymo, this is something that they just haven't done whatsoever on both maps. They have not thrown out CT aggression whatsoever. They've had one player, I think, push top mid and got dealt with, but that was on Deagles. So finally, they play together and they find map control back. And that's what you love to see for the CT side, that they're working together as a team.
Precisely that, with a man advantage, a 2-man advantage now if you're side about holding, but Deco takes matters into his own hands. He finds Minio. 4/3 on the cards now, with Polt taking a little bit of damage. This does become slightly doable if they can clear this angle, but Snacks holding from Goose, and we know how much of an unbreakable force Snacks can be.
Can he lock it down, though? Up against Deco, misses the shot, repositions himself. He needs to be careful for the peak, and there's Deco winning that fight. Well, we saw the statistic previously. He's been on top of his game. K does drop the bomb. Will be planted a little bit later, but it's a 3-on-2 retake. We saw it on the B bomb side go horribly, horribly wrong for Anonymo. See, on the A side, it's a lot easier, you would expect, but we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be the case right now. K out from A-long. That's going to be the key factor. Kyla drops Polt. They know exactly what Deco is as well. They spot him through. The op shot does not connect, and K gets himself his 3rd in the round. That's Anonymo securing finally another round in their favor. And considering this is still Dust 2, which is a fairly T-sided affair normally, I still do have hope for Anonymo if they can at least make it 5-6 rounds.
I'd agree. I think, you know, if they can make it 5 or 6, they definitely have potential heading into that second half. And that was a nice retake. I mean, the teamwork and the synergy was, of course, there. Finally, they're starting to step it up a little bit. But one win, I mean, they've been looking ridiculously good so far. And you know, they're 1 round away from guaranteeing themselves a lead heading into that second half, the same way they did on Nuke. And a missed smoke on the cross. This could become awkward, but the orb doesn't take the shot. And in doing so, T-side, just the kind of awkward for them, glowing, taking a peek. Okay, damage dealt. Nade coming forward, but he will cross back just about staying alive.
Well, luckily there's a molly to keep the remaining T's at bay. They've got 1 flash. But that nade, though, that's the money shot. So much damage. Another nade coming through. Boom goes the dynamite. Deco taken care of. But Glowing did find Innocent in the meantime through mid. And that's going to be, well, an M4 to be recovered. The problem is it's kind of in a position that you can't realistically pick it up safely, because Snacks has his AWP trained at that angle. Kyla long range gets rid of Polt, but still danger. I mean, you are up against Deagles. 1 straight bullet could be enough to take you down. Needs to be careful against that fight against Travis, but he finds 3, and it's all on a solo pro play through towards mid. Creeping in. Okay, 2 shots, 2 kills. Neo, that's nutty.
We got close. Yeah, God. Oh, very close. I think a little bit too close for comfort, we'd say. But, I mean, either way, this replay once again. I mean, they've been doing a good job. The CT side was they pick up that double upset of Kyler as a secondary AWP. Been doing a fantastic job in his own right. And, of course, Snacks is Snacks, right? But Pro Play became very close. I mean, that was a ridiculous double there. But fortunately, very, very fortunately, Snacks was there to cover up. This was short, though. Many finds the opening glowing on the trade, but K finds a trade of his own. Man of Ours is gained by Anonymo, and already a fantastic start for the Polish side. Well on the way to putting 5 on the board and really making this an even half.
Again, Neo, they went aggressive. They went together, threw towards short, one mid, close angles so he could back them up if things go wrong to get the refrag. And that is something that didn't happen on Nuke whatsoever, and honestly the first couple of rounds on Dust 2 they didn't have it either. It's just, it looks like they finally started to work as a team, and it pays off because Snacks, he's starting to hit some shots as well. All of a sudden Anonymo, you know, the morning jitters are gone, the energy or coffee is starting to wake them up, and they're finally ready to play some competitive CSGO. This is playoffs, they need to be on their A game, and finally we get to see some of that Anonymo action that we were waiting to see.
Maybe they've finally woken up in the server, because they do seem to be chaining some nice amount of kills coming forward. Snacks going for the aggressive peek in towards our spawn position. Won't quite spot anything out for the time being, but does spot glowing top mid. Listen, falls back. Snacks nearly punishes, but takes a tag in the making, down to 94.
Always dangerous to take the duel against Deagles with an AWP, but he does find himself glowing, so at least the man advantage picked up for the CT side. They already got themselves 5 rounds. 6 would be wonderful, 7 would be absolutely insane, because this is still a fairly T-sided map, and you want to get as much of an advantage in your favor as possible to try and take us towards Mirage. Nice tag coming through, but Innocent backing up his teammate. Snacks and Innocent locking down the mid double doors position. And Bolt, Deagle in hand, can't find anything. Clean sweep for the Anonymo side. That's 6 rounds. That's something I definitely would not have expected. What was it? 6-1 in favor of 1 win at one point?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, at one point, 1 win were well and truly ahead and, you know, in complete control of this map. But finally, Anonymo starting to step it up, starting to really bring the pain. We mentioned as well, you know, if Anonymo could pick up 5-6 rounds on the CT side, heading into their T side, things may look a little bit more positive for them. Well, they've done exactly that. They are, of course, on that 6-round mark, 1 away from tying things up 7-7. The way they've been playing, I can see them doing it.
Trying to go for a little bit of a boost play, though down to 10 HP, needs to fall back before that ends terribly. So the opening fight has been favorable for 1 win with the damage dealt. Of course, it's on an opper, so he just needs to connect 1 bullet before you connect 1. Though they are playing a bit of a default on the 1 win side. Full A-long control game by the Anonymo side. And they've even got 1 station in pit. That's been K, who has had a terrible performance on Nuke, but all of a sudden on Dust 2 starting to wake up as well. Definitely one of the star players on the rifle that you're looking for to have a solid performance right now. Just the T's baiting out a decent amount of utility. K gets dealt with by Pro Play. The op from Snacks needs to be careful because there's 2 T's peeking into him. Gets 1. Pro Play doesn't go for the full committal peek, and that saves Snacks' life for the time being, but there's the push towards the A site, and it's Minio finding 2, making it doable for his teammates, especially with Innocent chiming in. It's all on to Deco. 1v2, can he take that fight? Innocent does not expect Deco that far on site, and a 1-on-1 op versus AK. Deco does spot out Kyler towards short. His teammates definitely gave him the info that he is towards short. It's going to go for that peek, and it's a dangerous fight to take for Kyler to go for, because Deco is on form as well. Nate flies in down to 31 HP. But does he go for the op duel or does he go for the pistol? It is going to be the op versus AK, and Deco, he just has to play the waiting game. Mano a mano, this is to pretty much decide who's going to win the half in their favor. Crossing further forward, the peek comes in, and it's Deco winning the engagement. 3 kills for the T-Opper, and he even picks up that big green stick, or in this case, orange stick, in his favor. That's 1 win securing the half win. But Anonymo, 6 rounds, make it 7, and you are A-OK.
Yeah, no, exactly. And do you know what? Even at 8-6, I think that's still enough, let's say, for Anonymo, right? Because of course they're on that CT side, which at times can be significantly harder. But credit where credit is due, 1 win. They, from a real rough patch, they've turned it around. They've put an 8 on the board, guaranteed themselves at least a lead heading into that second half. So there's real kind of silver linings coming out. A missed smoke as well. Oh no, that's a cross smoke there. Coming forward, swinging through though, glowing. Initial blade damage towards Minio, now dropped to 46 points of health. He needs to be extremely careful, but it's Snacks to find the opener. Traded quickly by Prop Player, but in a 4v4 situation, both teams have taken a bit of damage.
Both oppers have been dealt with. Luckily enough, of course, the CT side have Kyler as a secondary opper. So, K towards short, waiting for a pop flash from his teammate to rush through towards short. Might be able to catch him from behind, but Travis, he knows what's up. He heard the flash, and he expects the push to come through Minio. Playing an off angle, finds himself 2 kills, making it a 2-on-2. They still haven't gotten control of the site just yet, but there's 1 A long and 1 from site. So Polt's going to go for the plant. And Pro Play is going to try and back him up. Grouping up both CTs heading up toward... Well, actually, 1 short, 1 A long. Instead, they're going to go for 2 separate 1v1 engagements. Who's going to be able to win out the fight? Kylo with the AWP against Pro Play. Spots him crossing through, and it's going to be all on Pulse. 1v2. Can he hold on to the side? Has a smoke to give him that covered vision. Does spot a player towards short. Creeping in. The headshot comes through. Both tagged up heavily, but of course, he's going to peek up against Kylo because, well, wounded. You want to take the fight against the opper, not the rifler. And that's going to be where the danger comes through, but it's the op that actually reigns supreme. Kyler gets 2 kills in the round. The defuse comes in. Innocent does have a kit, luckily enough, and that's going to be the round in favor of Anonymo. 7 rounds on the CT side of Dust2 after that 6-1 deficit. Neil, this is looking great for Anonymo. If they win that pistol, they are in control.
8-7 half. I mean, I think that's actually quite a fair sort of scoreline. In the way these two teams have been played, it's been such a round for round, a fair, real sort of moments of, let's say, confidence coming forward. Of course, momentum's been huge as well. We of course saw, at one point, it was a one-sided affair, to say the least, at one point. But resurgences came forward at 8-7 as well. We could maybe see something coming out from Anonymo heading onto this T side, right? They've picked up what we asked them. We said 5 or 6 rounds on your CT side. When you head into your T side, then that's when you can start, showing that flair that we know they can do. And well, I think so far it's already a much better performance than Nuke. So, there's a positive there. And 8-7, I think they can really, start something here, especially when this pistol round gets underway. If Anonymo tie things up 8-8 straight away, then we have a game in our hands.
Of course, if you do like placing a bet, do not forget to head over towards tb.gg/Oz and use VIP code SPRING221 to get a deposit bonus upon sign up. Because this game, I mean, you can probably place a nice couple of bets. As you can see, Deco just looking at his cam for a second there, stretching, quickly getting those muscles nice and limber, because he's going to need them on the T side opping. CT side opping. It's not going to be easy once Snacks picks up in his own AWP. If he's, I mean, Dust2 T side, you're definitely going to pick up the op this time around, though. It's not like it's Nuke. It's a lot more free form for a T side op.
Yeah, I like that. I like a free form of, we have the sort of a simple sort of pioneered that free form of, just playing wherever and wherever. But now, of course, heading into round number 16, the pistol round about to get on the way. And I'm not going to trail by 1 round, but a good pistol round here could tie things up 8-8, and then this game becomes even spicier.
A long range. There's a kit, luckily enough, on Pro Play, so that makes me happy. For the rest, they're just going to be holding a passive angle and go for the retake on the 1-win side. They do have cross smokes on Anonymo, 2 smokes, 1 flash, so they can get themselves on towards that A side. They even have a P250 on both Kyler and Snacks for those long range tap fights against Deco. But he's been on form this entire series, so it's not an easy fight to take. Both oppers trying to find that easy headshot potential on their opponents, but it's all terrorists out towards A long, and 1-win blowing is in lower tunnel, so he has information that no one is going to be there. He's even going to go for the peak, and once he has that info, he can rotate through with his entire team to relay the information that they're going to be going for that A-bomb side hit. They're so close. If Deco peaks wide, this might be disastrous for him. There is Travis on the cross as well towards elevator. Smokes come in, the flash comes through. He finds one though.
That's brilliant. I mean, they used the flash to find that opening frag. Now they've got the man advantage, just keep it.
Gonna go for a little bit of a boost play. Minio doesn't expect it. No one's holding the position either, and that's another kill. Oh my god, they're decimating the Anonymo side. Easy pickings. It's all in hand. At least finds one kill, but honestly, that's way too little right now because one win. They secure the pistol in their favor, Neo.
Yeah, really nice done, of course, with the opening kill. They used that and they utilised it essentially into, I mean, giving them a significantly favourable odds. And then, of course, crossing on towards that site, not clearing that pretty standard boost where someone can peek in towards that Kukli angle. Well, they pay the price, bomb drops, and from there on then, they just start to fall one by one like dominoes. Of course, one win, putting a 9th on the board, taking that position on that CT side, and not even managing to get the bomb down means that, well, that economy looking worse for wear here. Just the Glocks coming out into round number 17, and I think it's asking a little bit too much.
It's just a full Glock train for Anonymo, just mainly using this as a bit of an eco. And a timeout, discuss what their plan of attack is going to be in the next round. Of course, they will be able to afford AK's decent utility as well. The fact that they are the T side. If they get the bomb planted, this round would be absolutely marvelous. Somehow, Glowing goes for a full whiff spray, but luckily there's Polt and Pro Play chiming in to get the kills in return. An easy finish of the round secured. One win on double digits, 10-7, but Anonymo will be picking up those AKs, so weaponry-wise, they should have the advantage on the terrorist side.
Yeah, you know, AKs in hand, especially when you've got players like, I mean, Innocent, you know, he can pop off Snacks, of course, the man, the myth, the legend. But still, double digits have been picked up by one win. They've got a 3-round sort of buffer in their favour, and they're looking to keep hold of that. They will have the buy to support it as well. I mean, it's just prop play of an MP9, which is the only sort of significantly worse buy, I'd say. That's coming in towards that tunnel's position. Kyler sitting passively, waiting. But Glowing going to rotate into support.
Well, mid left open for the time being. Travis is rotating through to defend it, but Anonymo, kind of the same idea that they had on Nuke, where they just most of the time play passive, wait for one win to make mistakes, get aggressive. They do have a little bit of aggression, of course, out towards A long. It's Pro Play on the other side of the long doors, waiting for someone to peek in through, which, granted, can get you a nice kill, but it is also a potential for getting completely sprayed down with wallbang potential on the terrorist side if they know that you are positioned in that angle. To be fair, not a lot of people do run that position because of course, the fear and the possibility that your opponent might just be able to easily deal with you regardless. Anonymo crawling further forward towards A short, and it looks like a potential for a mid to B split right now because they do have still one player, Kyler, towards B. And they are tossing their utility through mid. There's going to be the mid to B split, something that one win barely went for so far. And this boost from Deco could be perfect. They spot over the smoke. He finds one, fades away as well. And Travis creeping past the smoke. He drops Snacks. That's the bomb dropped in mid. And they're getting dealt with. Travis long range taps as well. Finds 3 kills. No one holding the smoke against Tyler. That's last but not least. He's going to get finished off, and that's one win. I mean, that was a solid mid defense. The boost quickly to get the opening pick, and then Travis creeping past the smoke. The last kill as well, just tapping away at K. And just
solid.
So gut-wrenching.
Slightly rookie-esque though, you know, of course it's a standard boost coming in towards that spawn, you know, it can of course see above that smoke, hence why, you know, sometimes people go for that double smoke with a slightly elevated one to stop things like that happening. And Anonymo, they just caught out in towards that window position as well, no trade coming forward as the player pushed out a sleep D. They pay the price. Kyler takes a lot of damage, but the smoke will extinguish it. Minio to find the opener, however, but down goes Kyler. The trade coming forward, and a 4 versus 4 ensues.
On range, needle in hand, tap fight. Travis tagged down low. Travis taken down by Snacks with the P250. But at the moment on the B-bomb side, it's all on to Glowing. However, Glowing doesn't need no support. He's got himself the AK in hand up against Innocent. Once that smoke dissipates, a 1v1 fight comes through. But this is all a dangerous game. Can he find that quick tag to the face? Ooh. Yes, Innocent gets the kill. That's an AK recovered as well. Bomb site control can go for the plant. Though he's being pushed on the flank before he knows it. No safe plans coming forward. It is going to be Pro Play securing the round in their favor. And 1 win, 5 rounds ahead, 4 rounds from securing this series 2-0. But, this is disastrous for Anonymo. Snacks will at least be able to afford an AWP, so that is going to make me personally happy to see that battle between the Oppers again.
We love seeing Snacks, though. I mean, the man, the myth. And of course, I mean, on the other side, Deco's been doing a fantastic job on Nuke. He was a sight to be, held. I mean, time and time again, going aggressive when it was needed most and really isolating fights with the AWP. A stellar job, was playing over towards ramp, then with the harsh rotation over towards secret, cutting off those, rotations and those executes towards our secret and outside position. Now heading into Dust 2, it's more of the same. Currently sitting 16 and 7. I mean, he's been looking brilliant. Individually as well, leading the way in terms of frags in the server alongside Minio. I mean, he's been doing a fantastic job, and so far been one of the players to keep an eye on.
All this time around, quick outside play from K. Does have Snacks crawling in behind him as well, and they might go for a quick A bomb side hit with the A long and A short push coming through. Deco, 2-man hold towards short, gets mollied off though, forces him back. That means at the moment Pro Play is the only one there, but that nade gives away that he is at least positioned fairly close. The flash comes in, gets dodged, and Kyler stays back. They do have pretty decent CT A short control, but that means A long right now is not being controlled whatsoever. Kyler found out by Pro Play, and that's the man advantage for the CT side. Again, time and time again, they do find that opening pick on the 1-win side. And you're still close to try and take that fight, but Travis pushing through mid, finding the information. Minio does spot Purpley getting aggressive. They know Glowing is stuck towards elevator as well. They don't have cross smokes available. They've got one. They use the molly to obstruct some vision, and it does get them across. Dangerous situation to be in, but there's Travis on site, and Travis is a monster, a tank, and he finds 2 kills. It's all on to Snacks, the clutch master, but he cannot get this clutch on the way. 13-7, and they're only 3 rounds away from securing the next spot. Well, the next step in the playoffs and knocking out Anonymo in a decisive 2-0 fashion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, 1 win coming into this, we spoke, quite heavily about individually. They've been brilliant. I mean, their run of form recently has been humongous. They've been taking real big strides, and of course, see there, they've converted a first kill into a round 11 out of 12 times. It's such an important factor. Peeking towards top mid, going, it's aggressive. Nearly finds a tank there for Anonymo coming into round number 21. It's just an AK to support those pistols, that hero buy where it's Glowing to find the open. Already 1 win. That they convert an opening kill into a round 11 out of 12 times, and it's following suit here.
Creeping up towards the bomb site. Glowing gets slightly tagged up, but Pulse still finds the kill nonetheless. Innocent at the edge of the smoke will get taken care of by Glowing, who is rotating through, already has 2 kills to his name. Can he find more? It's the remaining 2 terrorists pushing towards the site. The cross is there. Information relayed to Glowing. Close range. No scope. Tries to take the fight against Snacks, but of course Minio is still alive and kicking. Now it's going to be against Snacks in a 1v3 clutch scenario. How many has he had to attempt in this series so far? Well, he's even being flanked from tunnels, and 1 win. They are just on fire right now, and I mean, honestly, with the performance right now, well deserved if they go on towards the next stage of the. In general, this tournament, they've been looking so good.
Exactly. I mean, their run of form recently has been huge. We spoke about it already, but especially in this tournament, right? I mean, they've been looking very, very good. They, in the regions, had a bit of a mixed affair coming for a few decent victories. But when it came to that Swiss, they picked up a 3-1 overall. They only lost to Copenhagen Flames, who, as you said, that new roster is looking incredible from Copenhagen Flames. So in that sense, I mean, they've been looking fantastic. Pushing in towards short, however, the CT side nearly catching out an aggressive T, going for the peek in towards top short, won't for the time being. Innocent now waiting and holding, and maybe able to get himself a frag, jumping in towards Pit, Glowing, he's going to punish all day long, and nearly that was off.
Well, does need a little bit of support now. The Molly can force him out of position, but Spots K trying to toss in the Molly. And he gets the kill secured on his elbow. Blows it to smithereens with that nice 50 cal bullet. It's going to be long range Glowing trying to cross back. But there's a player in pit that's dangerous. The Molly forces him out of position. Blinded. Gets back. Okay. No HP on Glowing. And he still manages to disengage. That's really something that should never be allowed to happen.
Exactly. I mean, how has he been able to stay alive there? I mean, of course the flashbang came through, but for him to fall back on such low HP, now this becomes all concerning. Tags coming through as well, and Minio and Kalian are in a real tough spot. Glowing waiting an opportunity. He's going to be gifted another frag. That's 3 on the board for him. He's technically on for the AC, and the way he's been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes on towards him. He's been hitting everything, but it's Minio to finally trade him out of that position. Deco finds one prop player on the last. Ladies and gentlemen, and DK Truman, that's one win, putting 15 on the board, and they're 1 away from taking this series 2-0, and it has to be said, deservedly taking it 2-0. They have been unstoppable so far.
I mean, honestly, Glowing is absolutely a golden sub. Every single time I see him sub for the 1-win side, he is doing absolutely exceptional work. That's what you want to see from your substitute, not, you know, no disrespect, but getting your coach in there most of the times. People that barely even play the game anymore, not too favorable. As you can see, the odds on Pinnacle are also not too favorable here, because it seems like it's all done and dusted. Barely anything to win if you go for a full all-in bet onto 1 win, and you never are 100% sure that that might be the case. But to be fair, this series is over, and it's of course painful to see the Polish team get knocked out, because I'm a big Anonymo fan. But 1 win, they're looking like a completely different beast this morning.
Completely, as you mentioned. I mean, they are just on fire at the moment. Oh, Deco, he's gone aggressive into his tunnels, waiting, finding. He drops into an opening kill, going the way of 1 win. He may be able to double up here. Flashbang walk on forward. He manages to make his way out of the way, and he will be traded by Minio. HG coming forward. This could cause a lot of damage, and it will. Kyler's left on 15 points of health. But it's Minio to find the shot towards Proper, and a man advantage now gained for Anonymo. This could be potential for a lifeline here.
Glowing. That other op, creeping up, crawling closer. It's going to be the fight from Polt against Minio, but he misses the shots. Actually, it's Kyler getting the kill. In the meantime, there's a creep up from behind that might be a bit of a surprise coming through. Nonetheless, the bomb is headed out towards A-Long, and they're just using this B bomb site take as a pretty big bait. The flank comes in, the kill picked up by Glowing. Effie finds Minio here nice and cleanly. It could be a 2-on-2, but on the other side, the bomb is going to get planted. And it is actually a 2-on-2, so all of a sudden, this is very doable for the side of 1 win to secure their victory in a 16-7 fashion. Glowing with the AWP towards short. Does he expect K that close? Seems he knows something's up, because K is playing close angles. They line up. Glowing. 2 HP left. The Molly is going to make it so that it's near impossible to run forward unless he actually just suicides.
You hate to see it. You do hate to see it. Sprinting through him on the top. Yeah, you do hate to see it, but at the same time, the lifeline has been gained. That's the first round that Anonymo picked up on this T side. It only took 7 for them to finally, in the 8th, put a round on the board, and that will mean that they have got 8 rounds overall, but still a stark deficit to catch up on. And 1 win, of course, they will be able to pick up a very comfortable bike going into this. Deco spotting, but not going to find anything. An uncharacteristic miss from the man.
Well, they are playing with that double op every single time. Deco and Glowing on the big green sticks. Anonymo grouping back through towards mid. Deco trying to spot out those long range engagements. Of course, Anonymo don't have AWPs of their own, so that's the advantage that they've got right now. On the CT side, if you're going to take those fights, you can go for the mid peaks. But Anonymo, they need to win 7 consecutive rounds right now, Neo, to try and get themselves towards OT. And then give themselves a chance to take it to the 3rd map. So there's like a long road to recovery to go through.
A long road indeed. I mean, surely this is asking a little bit too much. I mean, so far. And I know they struggle to put just that one round on the board, and Deco finds one. He's me trade nearly doubles off with Decay. Oh, it's falling apart, and Deco is a one-man army. The man, the myth. This is Deco's